Okay guys, welcome back. I, over the weekend, purchased this Nissan Leaf. It's a 63 plate, so it's 11 years old. It's done 60,000 miles. It's got 8 charges on the battery. They go up to 12, so that gives you the sort of level of the battery. I picked it up in London, in North London. It's 80 miles back to Kettering, where we're based. It's been interesting actually. I charged it up overnight. It holds about sort of 50 miles. So you'd think 2 charges and we get up here. But this is actually my 3rd stop now with that car. So first of all, I went to a place and I was up the motorway on the A1. And if you know the A1, it's motorway for a bit and then it goes into the dual carriageway. And on the motorway section, there's actually not many service stations. There's only like 2 service stations, so you've got to go a fair distance. And I was looking at the battery and how much life I had sort of 15 miles, and then it started flashing low, and then it got to about 11, and I knew there was a service coming up about 5 miles, but then it just completely disappeared. Now, I might have been able to limp in, but what I didn't want to have was stopping on the motorway. So I pulled off at the next junction, even though the services were only 5 miles down, and went to one pub, but it only had a Tesla charging stop, so that wouldn't fit in this. Actually takes a CHAdeMO, or well, it also takes another little sort of funny plug. Anyone who's familiar with the Leafs will know about that. So anyway, the Tesla one was no good. At the pub, I was just like, oh, super frustrating because I called them beforehand, but you know, people just don't know, do they? Went to another place around the corner. They did have one of these BP pulses, which got me about 25-30 miles. I thought, well, then I'll get down, because another lad turned up and said there's a faster charger down the road, so I tried that. So I stayed there for about 20 minutes, then went down the road a little bit further, stayed there for 40 minutes while I had coffee and bacon sandwich, and I'm recharging again now because it's 21 miles to Kettering. I'm just at Huntingdon at the moment, the race course, and there's only about sort of 19 miles on the battery, so I know it's not going to get me there. I'm going to charge this up to 30. It'll be quite interesting to see how accurate that charge is, whether it will take me back home on, and what amount of mileage it will give me, because I don't think it's even really right on the battery life, you know, how many miles you can get out of the car. But as I said, it was very cheap, only £3,000. So I suppose it doesn't really owe me much, and if we can just use it as a little commute car for some of the guys, that'll be a useful little thing to have. Hey guys, so I don't know whether you can see that. Yeah, 36 miles to go. As I said, it's 21 miles to the destination, so we'll see what's left. It should be 15. I'm going to drive sensibly at 60 and we'll see where we go. Okay guys, so I got the car back home to base. It didn't actually have any mileage left on it. It was flashing warning coming up. I did have to go one extra junction, which is probably 4 miles extra, but you can see it it should have had about 8 miles left, but it didn't. So yeah, that's just an interesting little test really there, that it shows that, yeah, these electric cars, they never really give you the correct range of what they're meant to give. Could be also that's quite old, it's 11 years old, the battery's not in a great state. But it did take a long time. I think it also shows the fragmented nature of UK charging. The first place I went to was a Tesla, so that didn't work. Went to another place, the charger was broken. Okay, I got it reset. Then that gave me a charge enough to get on the motorway. A little way, I then sat there for 40 minutes, had a charge, got a little bit further, needed another charge for sort of 20 minutes, and finally got back here. That, as I said, could be the state of the batteries, but I tried to stop at one services on the A1 where it meets the A14. Lots of eatery and foods stalls there, sort of 6 or 7 restaurants, BP garage. I thought, well, I'm bound to have a charger here. Nothing. So, you know, it just shows that really the UK charging network is just atrocious. There's absolutely nothing that's built out yet. I mean, I had a Tesla, got that, what was it, 9 years ago. I still think the Tesla charging network is the best. All the rest of it is very, as I said, just fragmented, different different users, and you can see why people have not switched to electric cars. Perhaps it's a cost, but I think also it's all this range anxiety. I mean, I had real range anxiety coming up on the motorway and seeing that, you know, I think, when's the next charger coming and all that. Maybe I wasn't quite fully prepared, but it's we're not there yet. Tell me, how was the car?
Have you ever heard about Night Rider?
Yes.
That's what we got.
That's what we got. Okay, now what I want to ask is, how many bars did you have, home and back?
4.
Yeah, four left. So how many miles did it say it did?
9.
9 miles?
Yeah.
And what was left on the charge?
27, 28.
27, so you started with 50.
Well, it was like 40 by the time I got out here.
Okay,
like
40 was it? 48 was it?
Yeah.
So, okay, so it loses a fair amount, does it? Just about half the range that it actually
I think
expects.
it probably needs to go to the top to get down, come down slowly. Like when you put it like in your car, diesel.
Yeah.
It's more. It's going to do as well. On eco mode, it doesn't do anything at all.
No, it doesn't use
much. When you
much,
take it
does
out there, it's like Night Rider.
Brendan, what's your view on the car?
The car?
Electric car.
So, I like it. It's really good.
That's the spirit.
Quick as well, yeah.
Yeah, all right. Cheers, mate. So there we are. The guys like the electric car. They think it's all right. Got old and young there, giving the thumbs up on a second-hand Nissan Leaf. But the proof will be in the pudding, as long as she keeps working and doesn't break down.